good weather to get out and run and carry out your physical activities. I hope you are doing all that. ठीक है, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो, लेकिन उससे पहले at least half an hour to 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour, you must go out and run or cycle, do push-ups, sit-ups, and chin-ups, and get out. थोड़ा सा बाहर निकलो, charge your battery. मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ charge your battery by morning routine. And I hope you are using habit tracker, because बहुत से बच्चे मुझे feedback देते हैं कि वो habit tracker use कर रहे हैं, and that is very heartening. And they are sending me messages कि parents भी कह रहे हैं कि तुम्हारी habits बहुत change होगी. So that's a very good thing. That's a very good thing, and I'm so happy, that small little actions by you are helping us, helping you develop. So are we live? Yes, we are live. Thank you very much. Once again, Jai Hind and good morning to each one of you. और मजे की बात यह है कि आज जो है, आज के बाद, या जय हिंद, नमस्ते, गुड मॉर्निंग, वाह, तो ऑल दी डेडिकेटेड स्टूडेंट्स आर हियर, जिनको कि ये एडिक्टिव हो गया है करंट अफेयर्स. दे फॉलो इन लव विद करंट अफेयर्स, उनको अच्छा लगने लग गया है, और ओपिनियन बनाने में इट इज हेल्पिंग देम. एंड आई ऑलवेज कवर टॉपिक्स फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ अ डिफेंस एंड यूपीएससी एस्पायरेंट, कि अगर ये टॉपिक आएगा ग्रुप डिस्कशन में, लेक्चरेट में, इंटरव्यू में, या घर में आप बात कर रहे हो, या स्कूल में कोई डिबेट है, या कोई ऐसा इश्यू दोस्तों में डिस्कस कर रहे हो, डिस्कस करने चाहिए. तो व्हाट शुड बी योर लाइन ऑफ थिंकिंग एंड हाउ यू शुड गो अहेड. एंड आई ब्रिंग न्यूज, आई रीड आउट फ्रॉम देयर मेनी टाइम्स, और कम्युनिकेशन भी आपकी प्रैक्टिस कराता हूँ कि हाउ शुड यू रीड अ न्यूज़पेपर, हाउ शुड यू मेक यूज of the English that is there in the newspaper. उससे कैसे आप अपनी vocabulary improve करो, कैसे आपकी spoken English improve हो, और कैसे आपकी written English improve हो. बहुत important है. कई बार you may be able to speak well, but you can't write. There are too many grammatical mistakes, and then you can't even send a good email. You can't send a good WhatsApp message. It'll affect you. ये prove हो गया है कि to succeed in life, whatever, Army, Navy, Air Force, officers, even those who join in other ranks, वहां पर भी finally it is communication skills which take you forward. Courses पे. Then, if you go to corporate world, you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to be a teacher, you want to be a good engineer, anywhere you go, it is your communication skills that will take you through. तो बहुत important है. तो चलो सारे बच्चे तैयार हैं? Yeah, Ashok Reddy, even if you're sick, you must attend. You must put it on the TV, YouTube, and let your parents and you watch it. ठीक है? When I was sick, मतलब बहुत कम chance ऐसा होता है, but when I am sick, I catch up with my reading and my YouTube and Netflix, जो भी बचा हुआ है. ठीक है? तो being sick, okay, don't go and run, but you can't stop your daily learning should not stop. ठीक है? तो चलो, बजट पे कल हमने लिया था, और कुछ दिन के बाद विल स्टार्ट आवर स्पेशल क्लासेस. देखते हैं. सो विल स्टार्ट विद द हिंदू टुडे. पहली बात तो जो इसका ऊपर है ना, दिस बैंड इज वेरी गुड, सो इट गिव्स यू अ हिंट व्हाट ऑल इज देयर इन द न्यूज़पेपर. दिस इज ऑन द कॉलेजियम, द लॉ मिनिस्टर, ही इज सेइंग कि गवर्नमेंट कैन रिटर्न लिस्ट. देन लद्दाख पे बात करूंगा आज. दिस इज सोनम वांगचुक, मैगसेसे अवार्ड विनर. मैंने इनकी आपको दिखाई थी, माई एसोसिएशन विद हिम, आई मेट हिम couple of times in Ladakh. Then this is about Supreme Court. Then here, should government publish a white paper on the LAC, on the line of actual control? What happened 3 years back? Should we have a white paper? उस पे discussion है between journalist and a retired army general. And US expands military base in Philippines. So US has got more bases now in Philippines. A new base is being created. तो उस पे भी बात करूंगा. So, but we'll start with this, the story of Indian corporate. Somewhere or the other, a deep, the regulators have not been able to, it required a foreign agency to make a report, and the bloodbath is something I've not seen in recent times. This is a Reuters report. By the way, this graph is given by Reuters, and since the fallout the estimated loss is $107 billion. $107 billion कंट्रीज का फॉरेक्स नहीं है. पाकिस्तान का फॉरेक्स इज डाउन टू अबाउट $3 billion. तो $107 billion का लॉस the conglomerate has suffered, and in many of their companies it is more than 50% of wealth is hived off. More than 50%. So 10-20% kabhi kabhi hota, but 50%, more than 50% in top stocks, and mostly it is 30-25 to then 44%. So, and after the FPO was taken out, or cancelled, the stocks continue to be in red. So this is, of course, now RBI is somewhere it is there. RBI is now asked banks, tell us your exposure. Because see, all this, if it was an individual wealth and the wealth going, it wouldn't have made such a difference. It is the bank's money. It is borrowed money which is invested into business. And the banks, if this money turns into NPAs or investors lose their money, then that is why it is matter of concern. That is why it's a current affairs subject. Otherwise, nahi hota. So, इसके आगे भी बात करेंगे. This is on the feedback of the budget, where the finance minister has given capex of, you are aware, can tap into 1.3 lakh crore, capex that has been given by the finance. This is interest-free loan given to states for 50 years. So they can use this money, borrow it from the center, and use it for creating infrastructure. So this is the news on that, and more of it we will cover. And budget ki kal humne analysis kiya tha. It's a good budget, balanced budget, and though again a very difficult task for any finance minister. It starts from home. Finance minister at home, वहां देखो कितना मुश्किल होता है कि किस चीज पे कितना खर्चा किया जाए, and how much should be the savings. So difficult task, but yet you can't satisfy everyone. Budget is a thing जो कभी किसी को पूरा satisfy सबको हो नहीं सकता. ठीक है. Sometimes the industry will be happy, sometimes the common man will be happy, sometimes the farmer will be happy. Like that it goes. Okay. Now we come to the editorial straight away. We come to the editorial of the Hindu straight away, and both the editorial pieces are interesting. The first is a shot for science. A shot for science. More funding for research must be met with easing of bureaucratic procedures. So what the editorial is highlighting here, कि okay, many places you have hiked the budget given to research and development institutions, but please remove bureaucratic hurdles, the process of going through. So it says, just listen to this. Ministry of Science and Technology has received an allocation of 16,341 crores, which is on paper an impressive 15% increase. However, 2021-2023, the ministry has seen 3.9% decrease. So though it appears hike, but over last couple of years, it is a decrease. Then they say the bulk of hikes has gone to Department of Science and Technology, Science DST, Department of Science and Technology, which is 7,931 crores, up 32% from last year. It was 2,683 for the Department of Biotechnology, or DBT. So then that is how on the deep ocean mission, but finally it concludes कि okay, this is all in the government domain. These are government institutions. What about private players? Why not the private players come into the research and development? They also have universities, medical colleges, so they must also get into research and development. So remove the bureaucratic process. So these are, you can talk in your group discussion and all, किसी भी subject पे बोलो yes sir, very good, but the process of getting sanctions or there are bureaucracy, वो बात कर सकते हैं. This is fire and ice. And the heading of this, Ladakh and its people need the urgent attention of the government. This is after the hunger strike and fast by Sonam Wangchuk, who is a Magsaysay Award winner, a very famous personality, an engineer turned into educator, turned into innovator, and turned into a public leader in his own right. So he has, highlighted this issue of Ladakh. So that is why the paper had decided to speak on Ladakh. We must understand what is the criticality there in Ladakh. Why the ecology, Himalayan ecology, is so important. The culture of the people, their more than 90% they are tribals. So, and the best part is the both Kargil and Leh are now jointly on this. Earlier क्या था, मैंने बताया था आपको इस क्लास के अंदर, ले की 6th शेड्यूल के अंदर जो स्पेशल क्लास लास्ट में ली थी, उसमें कि ले वाले अलग बात करते थे, कारगिल वाले अलग बात. इवन ऑन 370, एब्रोगेशन ऑफ 370 एंड डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ लद्दाख एज अ यूनियन टेरिटरी, वेयर देयर वाज रिजॉइसिंग इन ले, but Kargil was subdued. But now on this issue, they have formed two organizations and they are speaking the same voice. So that is the issue. Then this is a very interesting piece. This is the first time a newspaper has asked for a white paper on LAC, line of actual control, and what happened there. What is the situation? The government must come clean on it. So it is by two people. One a retired general who was a corps commander, not in Ladakh, down below, and in Srinagar, and Manoj Joshi, who is distinguished fellow at the Observer, and he writes a lot on international affairs, a person you can follow. So here they are talking about this report given by SSP Leh. SSP Leh had submitted a report in the IG DGP conference which took place in Delhi. उसमें उनकी रिपोर्ट थी, बहुत डिटेल्ड रिपोर्ट थी कि how many petroleum points now we are not able to access in the Depsang plains. तो उसको लेके है ये, बड़ा अच्छा क्वेश्चन आंसर फॉर्मेट में है. Those who have interest can read it. Otherwise, you can ignore. But Leh has, Ladakh has got the attention now after that fast. This is text and context. Again, you get news in numbers. Those who are fond of numbers, and then you have the putting budget 2023 into perspective, and uska gist hai yahan pe. So after one day, this is a very fair analysis of the budget. It's a balanced budget. There is no doubt about it. And which part expenditure is going to go, that is where they have tabulated. आप और मेरे को इतना concern नहीं है. Only thing is that, yes, I've told you that the government is going ahead with highways, railways, airports, heliports, and ports. So but money has been reduced from subsidies and rural employment guarantee like मनरेगा. तो ये broad highlight है. Income tax में exemption है, but people are still confused. उस पे एक आगे article आएगा Indian Express में. People are still confused whether old was better or this is better. Though on paper it appears कि आपको 2 लाख का rebate दे दिया. But anyway, know your English, जरूर पढ़ो. And the word of the day is balking. अच्छा word. Use करोगे, impact पड़ेगा. तो हर रोज at least this part you must read. Know your English and this. Now this is of course again on the collegium. This is continued. Now a case has also been filed in Bombay High Court against the attack on judiciary. So let's wait and watch what happens. But now this is the law minister who is taking on the collegium. Law minister and the vice president of India are in the forefront on taking on the collegium system for last couple of months. So he says that as on 31st January 2023, a total of 18 proposals on which reconsideration of SC collegium has been sought. So it is that there are so many deficiencies of judges in Supreme Court, High Court. Long, laborious process. In the state, there is a collegium of the state chief justice and senior most judges. They forward the list to the state government. Here it is Supreme Court. For Supreme Court, it goes to the law ministry. Also, another important issue is which has been highlighted by all the papers is the representation of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and minorities as judges is very, very less, negligible. So ये issue भी अभी highlight हो गया कि आपके पास judges तो सारे के सारे general category के. So this issue is also being highlighted that the government is looking for how to balance this. Cut in Manrega outlay is not a concern, Somanathan. Okay, it's gone back to the pre-COVID, and during COVID, people required a lot of help. So we have come out of that stage. Now this is interesting that U.S. military to get greater access to Philippines bases. The 4 new locations bring the total number of sites accessible to US forces in the Southeast Asian country to 9. Senior officials in Manila say talks are ongoing for potential 10th site. So US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is here with his Philippines counterpart on Thursday. So 9 bases they have access, and they are talking for 10th. So up many times I've shown you the map. If you remember, जो मेरे पुराने student है, how does the South the South China area look like, South China Sea area look like? ठीक है, तो उसमें Philippines is an important player. The attack on mosque in Peshawar, more than 100 people have been killed. I told you yesterday, and also when the attack took place in Pakistan, when an attack takes place in a high security zone, in a military establishment, or in a civil or a police, it's an insider job. It's an insider job. So here again, the reports coming in is the bomber who blew himself up in the mosque where policemen were praying at 1:40 in the afternoon in Peshawar, inside high security police headquarters, police garrison, was a person in uniform. So probably, I don't know whether he was a serving policeman or he was guided inside by vested interest and his friends inside police. So this is what happens when your foreign policy is based on supporting terrorism. So when you the famous if you have snakes in your backyard, then they will come to bite you. This is of course a well-crafted budget with right mix of capex and fiscal prudence. Fiscal prudence की मैंने कल बात की थी, how the budget is attacking the fiscal deficit also. Question आपको थोड़ी देर में लूंगा, थोड़ी देर में questions आपके बच्चा पार्टी, but keep your questions with you. हाँ, बताता हूँ अभी राजू, डीके राजू बताता हूँ अभी. Okay, now we come to Indian Express. Indian Express should not miss the bus this time. Prime Minister said keep growth momentum intact. This is from the interview given by Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister. तो उस इंटरव्यू का वो है. RBI seeks details from banks on exposure to Adani firms. NSE puts curbs. No word from SEBI yet on market too. तो SEBI, which is Security and Exchange Board of India, जिसका काम है ये स्टॉक को देखना, they are in a freeze. They are in a freeze. No statement as yet. Even this is now, the report came out more than a week back, the Heidenberg report. So nothing from them. So here, as the market continued to hammer its stocks with the flagship Adani Enterprises dipping another 26.5 and over $100 billion shaved off the group's total market cap, the Reserve Bank has sought details from banks about their exposure to the group. So let's see what happens. Now we go to the editorial, straight to the editorial. बीच में there is one odd news, but कोई बात नहीं, आटा महंगा हो गया. This is the interview. This is the interview of the finance minister, which is there on the front page. इसी का excerpt उन्होंने वहां लिया, detailed interview यहाँ पे. Now we come to the editorial. This paper, by the feel of reading, is much better because of the quality of paper and the print. Very, 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 very nicely done with a nice quote on top, and then of course, this is because the truth involves us all. So adding it up, this is about the budget. Budget arithmetic appears reasonable, but continued scaling down of disinvestment target is a cause for concern. So even they have said it's reasonable, the arithmetic involved in the budget of spending and income and how the spending is going to take place across various sectors. But the paper says the scaling down of disinvestment target is cause for concern. Now, then we come to an eye on the future. This is again, budget takes the long view, reflects panacea of political leadership, its confidence and continued stability. By N.K. Singh and Prachi Mishra, they have also given a thumbs up to the budget. This is of course on Pakistan's crisis. Pakistan's crisis, जिस पे कि the economic crisis. The terrorism is continuing. That is not that big a crisis because they because of their continued support to terrorism, they are always on the receiving end for many years. But here we are talking of the Pakistan's economic problems, even as it pays for intimacies between security establishment extremist group. तो इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस जबरदस्त है. आईएमएफ ने उनकी जो उन्होंने रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग का प्रपोजल दिया था, दैट हैज बीन ट्रैश्ड बाय आईएमएफ. Fuel prices have gone skyrocketing. $1 is now equivalent to 262 rupees, Pakistani rupees. Almost more than 3 times Indian rupee. And they don't have money to buy oil now. बहुत कम पैसे बचे हैं. So Sri Lanka is being replicated there. Sri Lanka को तो इंडिया ने मदद कर दी, यहाँ कोई चांस नहीं है. And why should we? So this is on Pakistan crisis. How they do it, let's wait and watch. Now, this is of course appreciating the budget, but here we have a contrarian view. This is by the Finance Minister of Kerala. Finance Minister of Kerala, he says the stability is achieved at the expense of the poor and rural sector. Increase in capital expenditure cannot produce desired outcomes unless major governance reforms are initiated against cronism. So he's talking of crony capitalism. Then of course you have other articles, but ठीक है. Overall I've given you the analysis. Yeah, now we come to the income tax part. Choosing the right tax regime. आपने choose नहीं करना है. None of you are paying income tax. ठीक है. तो even I don't, मतलब we pay, but I don't read too much between the lines. But here they say that while there is a view that new tax regime will weaken the savings culture, taxpayers should keep aside rupees 1 to 2 lakh for investment, which they would anyway have done under the old scheme. So it almost finally these two writers, Sandeep and Sukalp Sharma, are of this thinking. It will depend on individuals which tax regime you want to stay. But default option, when you file the tax, default option is the new option. Even the finance minister said that she expects about 50-55% people to shift to the new tax regime. तो देखते हैं क्या होता है. This picture of the Pen Monument, which is likely to come up in Chennai. There's controversy on it, but ठीक है, not very important for you and me. And yeah, then of course we have this news from Ukraine. The EU team is in Ukraine, but Russia is attacking on the east in the region that they had captured last time. Then they have, of course, they have covered this. Why proposed change has rattled up Indian startups. Byju's has laid over 1,000 employees. Bad situation. Joe Johnson, brother of UK ex-Prime Minister Boris Johnson, he's resigned from the Adani Group. He was director of Adani linked firm. He has resigned when the firm took a hit. And of course, this is on the stocks falling rapidly. And then we have sports news. Nothing much in sports. Okay, now we come to the Times of India. And here Adani route continues. 107 billion market cap wiped out in 6 sessions. And like 2008, the crisis started in US. 2008 was a very bad recession. 2008. It started in America, but the heat was felt around the world. So today, the way the markets are linked, the big corporates are linked across the world, the hit will be taken by many people. So it's not an isolated Indian issue only. Yeah. So this is, of course, scrapping of FPO, house stalled, global bonds in distress, almost no trade in Indian market. And to add to the woes of the corporate, the Swiss Credit and the City Corporation, Citibank, even they have said that they have also, not accepting bonds to give more credit. So that also has made this the situation little volatile. Anyway, so अब चलेंगे हम main news की तरफ, which is generally at the back. Sometimes cartoons are very good. एक दिखाऊंगा कार्टून आपको थोड़ी देर में. Sometimes. Now, move fast regulators. Move fast regulators. This is what the paper is warning. कि Adani Group crisis calls for incisive response from SEBI, RBI. Financial panic has a habit of spreading. So it says कि RBI ने तो has asked the banks, but very slow and not a very energetic response. SEBI is still no response from SEBI on this route. So they say that with this kind of parliament had to be adjourned on the issue. Separately, RBI has asked the banks. SEBI is also active, and NSE has put some Adani firms under additional surveillance. Okay, so SEBI is active, and NSE has put certain Adani firms under additional surveillance. Now here, this is the operating part I wanted to read out. Conglomerates act as a link between different financial jurisdictions. Different financial jurisdictions. Therefore, it's unwise to assume that problems with Adani Group's overseas bonds won't spill over to India. Spillovers across markets were a major aspect of the 2008 crisis. And American regulators were caught napping as money markets froze and the panic spread across many types of financial markets in almost every geography. Indian regulators need to get on top of the Adani situation before election season politicking leads to unintended consequences. Public undermines financial stability. The longer this plays out as a political level, the greater the risk of ill-conceived interventions to neutralize the fallout. The situation is as much a test of regulatory ability as it is of the future of the Adani Group. So very, very strong indication for policymakers. Then, of course, this is on the rich people being given tax rebate plus being taxed somewhere. So she says ki it's going to be 4% positive, 4% negative for the HNI. Now, this is in this newspaper where they cover a lot of tech news, and I find it very interesting. I find it very interesting on softwareization, combining fun on campus with online learning, IIT Madras, and artificial intelligence. Where are we today? Where are we today? So interesting. I do read to know which way the world is moving, which way now I'll show you the cartoon. ठीक है, कार्टून देखना चाहिए. पहले बहुत पॉपुलर होते थे कार्टून्स, and it was this paper which every day used to publish R.K. Narayan, and R.K. Narayan would spare anyone. He would not spare anyone. His sarcasm was beyond anything. So this is Animal Spirit. This is cartoon on Animal Spirit. The bear has two heads, budget going up, Adani taking it down. So that is the cartoon here. So overall okay. Now I will take your questions. Bacha party, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying this live session on news. करना क्या है, अपने लोग मेरे से बाद में पूछते हैं कि सर हमने क्या करना है, तो मैं कहता हूं प्लीज सिट विद अ पेन एंड नोटबुक. आपको मैंने एक बताया एक रजिस्टर बनाओ करंट अफेयर्स का रजिस्टर बनाओ 400 पेज का. मैंने एक वीडियो बनाई है हाउ टू मेक नोट्स फॉर करंट अफेयर्स, हाउ टू रीड न्यूज़पेपर, हाउ टू यूज मैप्स. प्लीज उनको देखो एंड देन ये वाली जो न्यूज है इसको आप एक रफ नोटबुक में एंटर करो. रोज क्या हो रहा है, ठीक है. सो यू डोंट मिस एनीथिंग, यू विल नॉट मिस एनी टॉपिक इफ यू, whether it is national, international. all topics from your point of view. Okay, thank you बच्चा पार्टी. अब मैं आपके सर, हाँ दीक्षा, क्या होता है ना, हर जगह अलग टाइप पेपर प्रिंट होता है. लाइक दिस पेपर, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस एंड हिंदू, दे आर प्रिंटेड एट 20-30 लोकेशंस. तो एक एडिशन नहीं होता है, तो उनको ना बीच में अपनी लोकल न्यूज डालनी होती है. जो जयपुर एडिशन है इस अखबार का, वहां जयपुर की खबर होगी, जम्मू एडिशन जम्मू की खबर होगी, बट द एडिटोरियल एंड द मेन आर्टिकल्स आर कॉमन. बट वो बीच की जो न्यूज होती है, पॉलिटिक्स न्यूज, ये न्यूज, क्राइम की न्यूज, ये वो लोकल होती है. सो दैट इज वाई यू विल फाइंड डिफरेंट, इट अपीयर्स डिफरेंटली. Yeah, BOCC is a purely online course. Why should you go offline for a communication course? घर बैठ के अगर आप 1-1.5 घंटा रोज यू कैन प्रैक्टिस, और उसके अपने दोस्तों के साथ प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो. आई एम गिविंग यू अ प्लेटफॉर्म, an amazing platform and mentors which can change your personality and put you on a different pedestal. कैसे, how to take the course, there are 2 numbers given, just message, because there are too many queries, so just message. वो number save करो, team YMA करके, and just send a message on that number, somebody will contact you. Yes, DK Raju, this is every month we run a BOAC course and a BOCC course. Chalo, I hope Ashok Reddy you are fine now. I know the problem with sickness, if you take this medicine they put you to sleep, है ना, and you are drowsy, तो attention नहीं होता, वो मानता हूँ मैं. Old pension scheme, Gargi Gaur, you are aware now it's become an election issue. Many states have gone back to old pension scheme, and 20 years of hard work that was done to save money is gone now. So this is going to put a lot of strain on the finances of the states, old pension scheme. ठीक, थैंक यू देवानंद. इफ आई एम लुकिंग ऑसम. हम तो एनर्जी के साथ आते हैं क्लास में यार. स्पेशल क्लास कब स्टार्ट होगी आई डोंट नो. रोहन वर्मा, आई डोंट नो. अभी तो मैं 4 दिन के लिए आई एम गोइंग आउट. कल तो ये भी नहीं होगा सेशन. कल से 4 days आई एम गोइंग टू बी अवे. आई एम गोइंग टू ट्रैवल टू Jalandhar, Pathankot to attend my unit's battle honor day. So I'll be driving down through Karnal, Ambala, Jalandhar and Pathankot. आते समय I'll stop in Jalandhar. तो जो जलंधर में बच्चे, I'll try and meet you. बहुत बच्चे वहाँ बोलते रहते हैं सर जलंधर में, तो देखते हैं कहीं. एंड पठानकोट में जो बच्चे हैं, पठानकोट, मामू, उस एरिया में I'll surely find time to. Good Gargi, if you are going to take part in youth parliament, please take part. ठीक है. एंड इफ यू डू वेल, और इफ यू मेरे से कुछ सीखा है आपने, तो मुझे टैग कर देना इंस्टाग्राम पे. थैंक यू विवेक, थैंक यू. तो एनी या नाउ आई कैन सी. सर, शुड इंडियन जुडिशरी अडॉप्ट इंग्लिश रूल और अमेरिकन? यार, इंडियन जुडिशरी इज गॉट इंडियन रूल. गार्गी, ये क्या सवाल है? इंडियन जुडिशरी नाउ, we have taken up our entire judiciary from the British. Abhi suddenly to change over to American is not possible. ठीक है. So we will continue with the current system that was started by the British, after India came under the British crown. DK राजू, ये जो हमारा कम्युनिकेशन कोर्स है, ये इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग कोर्स है. इसमें बट थोड़ा उससे बेटर है, क्योंकि ये इंग्लिश तो हम सिखाते ही, आपका कॉन्फिडेंस भी बिल्ड करते हैं, आपकी पर्सनैलिटी बिल्ड करते हैं. तो ये इट इज बेटर देन इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग कोर्स. ये जो कम्युनिकेशन कोर्स है, इसीलिए इसका नाम इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग नहीं है. आप चिंता मत करो, बहुत बढ़िया कोर्स है. A2 Singh, साहब, माय फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट इज इन सितंबर. हाउ टू प्रिपेयर आवर रिटन एग्जाम, हाउ डिड वी इंप्रूव आवर. सो A2 Singh, ये सही टाइम, आप पहले BOCC कर लो कोर्स, एंड देन स्विच ओवर टू BOAC. सो आपका कम्युनिकेशन भी डेवलप हो जाएगा, कॉन्फिडेंस भी, पर्सनैलिटी भी हो जाएगा, एंड SSB के बारे में भी आपको पूरा अच्छे से असेसमेंट हो जाएगी. सो यू विल बी रेडी फॉर योर बाय द टाइम सितंबर कम्स तुम अलग लेवल पे होगे, अलग लेवल पे होगे. आर्यन राठौर, सर SSB में फ्लुएंट इंग्लिश मांगते हैं क्या? यस, मोस्टली आप थोड़ा बहुत यूज कर सकते हो, बट क्या कॉन्फिडेंस बन जाता है और कोई बात नहीं. ठीक है, फिर बोलने में फ्लुएंट नहीं है तो बट लिखना तो फ्लुएंट होना पड़ेगा ना. लिखने में स्टोरीज कैसे लिखोगे, वर्ड एसोसिएशन टेस्ट कैसे करोगे, SRT कैसे करोगे, SDT कैसे करोगे, PPDT स्टोरी कैसे लिखोगे, GP में सॉल्यूशन कैसे लिखोगे, लेक्चरेट कैसे दोगे, ग्रुप डिस्कशन कैसे दोगे, इंटरव्यू कैसे दोगे आईओ को. तो 80% तो आपका ये पार्ट है. Diksha Chaudhary, sir, when you ask doubts, I don't even have a single doubt. This really demotivates me. नहीं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं. आप I think you came on my Telegram live, दीक्षा, एक दिन मैंने बात की थी शायद. Rubin Prosti, yes, minority community representation is minimal, not only in Supreme Court, even in higher echelons of our bureaucracy. Higher echelons of bureaucracy, minority and SC/ST representation is minimal in all top posts. So this is a cause of concern. Not education system, but somewhere we need more introspection. Ki why, while we have reservation at various levels, why we don't see that kind of reflection in the top, whether it is judges or even the top bureaucrats. Top bureaucrats are secretaries in various government departments, heading various organizations. Very, very few you will find from minority or from the SC/ST. Okay, Gargi, no problem. Virat Tyagi, sir, when I read fiction books, I can't understand it. What are going to understand that book? So that means आपका रीडिंग बहुत पुअर है. रीडिंग और ये तो इसको तो काम करना पड़ेगा. विराट, लगे रहो. ये मैं तो देख रहा हूँ बच्चों को पिछले 1 साल से. कीप रीडिंग, कीप अंडरलाइनिंग. डिक्शनरी रखो साथ में एंड प्रैक्टिस करो बोलने की और रीडिंग की. वर्ड्स अंडरलाइन करो. इंटरेस्ट क्रिएट हो जाएगा महीने, 2 महीने, 3 महीने, 6 महीने में. बट छोड़ना मत इसको, छोड़ना मत. Aman Pinto, best covered I think was Indian Express yesterday. I think Indian Express covered the budget very well. Rohit Yadav, sir, you had recommended Blink. Yeah, Blink is a good book. I'm reading it in my doubts as it should. No, you don't remember. ये क्या होता है, नॉलेज बैंक आ जाएगा जब आपको जरूरत होगी. ये रिकॉल हो जाएगा. इट विल रिकॉल. कभी आपको डिस्कस कर रहे हो, बोलोगे इन द बुक ब्लिंक दिस इज व्हाट इज रिटन. पूरी बुक याद थोड़ी होगी, कभी भी नहीं रहती. बट ये बुक्स है, मुझे कौन सा याद है. बट हाँ, कोई कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऐसा होता है. अफगानिस्तान का तो मैं स्ट्रेट वे, हाँ यार वो विलियम डैलरिपल की बुक में है, ऐसे ऐसे हुआ था अफगानिस्तान में. ठीक है. आई एम गुड, मोइन मलिक, थैंक यू. The difference between BOCC and BOAC is big. BOCC is a 3 months language and personality development and confidence building course. BOCC, English speaking, personality development. BOAC is a SSB orientation course. ये SSB कोर्स है जहां GTO, IO, साइक आपको असेस करते हैं, आपकी क्लासेस लेते हैं, और आपको ऑनलाइन इंटरव्यू भी होता है. आपका साइक की पूरी असेसमेंट होती है. Psych, she will be able to tell you, and we have the best psych and best GTO. हमारे पास both are lady officers. So BOAC is a 3 weeks course. This is 3 months course. तो दोनों का स्ट्रक्चर अलग है, टीम अलग है दोनों की बिल्कुल. आर्यन राठौर, फेस टू फेस जो आप बोलते हैं ना, ऑफलाइन में मैं बिलीव नहीं करता हूँ. बहुत टाइम वेस्ट होता है. और क्या हो रहा है ऑफलाइन में, मुझे बच्चे बताते हैं जिन्होंने पहले कोचिंग ले रखी है, अब BOAC में, कहते हैं सर वहां में तोते की तरह रटा देते हैं स्टोरीज. 14 दिन कहते हैं सारा दिन हम क्लास में बैठे रहते हैं. हमारा कोर्स है आपको गाइड करने का, आपको राह दिखाने का. आपको अपने आप को डिस्कवर करने का। दैट इज वाई वी हैव सच गुड सक्सेस। ये नहीं चाहिए यार एसएसबी के लिए वहां बैठ के लिख रहे हो। जैसे हॉस्पिटल आता है ब्लड डोनेशन और ब्लड ऑर्गन की स्टोरी आनी शुरू हो जाती है, वो देखते ही बता देता है साई के तो बहुत ज्यादा कोचिंग लेके आया हो बच्चा। नो, नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। आई एम नॉट इन फेवर ऑफ एसएसबी। द पर्सनैलिटी बनाओ धीरे धीरे अपने आप। Delhi budget, yeah, very less, Tushar. How to improve positive imagination? Pradeep Pathani, ये आप this takes time to be more imaginative. मैं तो डिस्कस करता हूँ क्लास में स्टोरीज बच्चों के साथ, और आता ही नहीं आइडिया आप लोगों को। क्यों नहीं आता मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा। मुझे 10 आइडिया आते हैं एक स्टोरी पे, बिकॉज बीइंग ऑब्जर्वेंट। देखो जरा बाहर, किताबें पढ़ो, थोड़ा सा माइंड को यूज करो। जीटीओ फिजिकल टास्क कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बस अगर आप इफेक्टिवली यू आर यूजिंग योर इंटेलिजेंस, आप काम कर रहे हो कहीं ना कहीं, तो इमीडिएटली सॉल्यूशन आ जाते हैं इफ यू अप्लाई योर माइंड। प्रॉब्लम क्या है, वो बच्चे घबरा जाते हैं, ये करें वो करें, जीटीओ देख रहा है। घबराना नहीं है, वहां जाना है परफॉर्म करने के। इसलिए मैच शुरू हो गया, मैच खेलो, जीत के तो अच्छा है, नहीं वो तो कोई बात नहीं यार, अगली बार फिर देख लेंगे। उस एटीट्यूड से एसएसबी को लेना। आप लोग घबरा जाते हो तो उससे दिमाग काम नहीं करता है, डेस्परेशन शो करता है। मैंने बोला एसएसबी में याद करो 3 C's, कूल, काम एंड कंपोस्ट। हमेशा कूल रहो, काम रहो, देखो क्या हो रहा है, सुनो ध्यान से, सुनो क्या बोल रहे हैं, देखो क्या हो रहा है, एंड देन परफॉर्म टू योर बेस्ट ऑफ योर एबिलिटी। बस यही और क्या, ठीक है। कोई टास्क डिफिकल्ट नहीं। यशपाल भाटी, प्लीज सेंड ए मैसेज, you'll be, please send a message. Anyone who wants to join the BOCC course, व्हाट्सएप नंबर दिया हुआ है। कोई टास्क डिफिकल्ट नहीं। आर्यन, दीक्षा चौधरी, सर आई डोंट गो एनीवेयर इन अ डे। ओके, सी रोहित, यू आर लुकिंग एट इसरो बजट, बट साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, जो टेक्नोलॉजी मिनिस्ट्री को बजट बढ़ गया। डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कौन सा है, मैं भी पढ़ तो रहा था आपके लिए। सम प्लेसेस द बजट हैज गॉन अप। कोई बात नहीं, अप एंड डाउन होता है। अगर कोई बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है तो बजट आ जाएगा। अच्छा, फिर इसके बाद क्या होगा, देन अगेन बी रीथिंक ऑन दिस। अगेन कोई नहीं यूज कर रहा है, उसको लेके सितंबर में दूसरे को दे देंगे, वहां से उसको दे देंगे। ये चलता रहता है, ये कोई फिक्स नहीं है। इट्स नॉट रिटन इन स्टोन कितने ही पैसे मिलेंगे। कई लोग नहीं यूज कर पाते, दिसंबर में पैसा लेके दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट को दे दिया जाता है। तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं, सो डोंट वरी। इफ यू सेंट मैसेज यू विल गेट अ रिप्लाई। Thank you, Virat. Dictionary when I'm reading fiction, but takes a lot of time. 5 to 6 पेज। विराट, इसका मतलब आप क्या कर रहे थे स्कूल में? अगर आप 5-6 पेज 1 घंटे पढ़ रहे हो तो क्या कर रहे थे फिर आप स्कूल में? अगर आपकी रीडिंग इतनी पुअर है, अभी भी पिकअप करो, कोई बात नहीं। हर वर्ड को मत अंडरलाइन करो ना। अगर एसेंस समझ रहे हो क्या कह रहा है फिक्शन में, स्टोरी में, चलते रहो, आगे चलते रहो, ठीक है। Good books, read any book. Any book is good. Okay, Janvi, you can send a message and check from the team. We are giving some discount also. ठीक है, चुपचाप ले लेना, ठीक है, छोड़ना नहीं है जहां कहीं डिस्काउंट मिलता है, ठीक है। चलो, सो बच्चा पार्टी, आई विल नॉट बी अवेलेबल फॉर नेक्स्ट 4-5 days. आई विल बी ट्रैवलिंग, तो वो मैं आपको अपनी स्टोरी शेयर करता रहूंगा, मैं कहाँ पे हूँ। इफ यू आर समवेयर नियर बाय, I don't feel irritated. Diksha, you're right. टारगेट आईएएस और सीडीएस। ओम सिंह, अरे ये बहुत बच्चे मेरे से पूछते, मैं तुम्हारी रोस्टिंग करूं या तुम्हें सही जवाब दूं? आईएएस और सीडीएस के बीच में समुद्र है, हिंद महासागर है, और तुम किश्ती में बैठे हो कि यार ये चले जाऊं मॉलडीव्स बोट पे। हाउ कैन यू कंपेयर द टू? How can you compare? CDS is one of the easiest exams. पहले CDS क्लियर कर लो, फिर थोड़ा आइडिया हो जाएगा यार IAS के नजदीक लग सकते हैं कि नहीं। IAS is a totally different ball game. मैं हैरान हूं, how can you have a choice between these two? Either you are CDS or you are IAS. पहले CDS क्लियर करो 2-3 बार, SSB अटेंड करो, क्लियर हो गए तो चॉइस करें, फिर मत जाना फौज में, बोलो नहीं मैं तो सिविल सर्विसेज करूंगा। ठीक है, ये मैं बहुत बच्चों से सुनता हूँ, ये बहुत सुनता हूँ, सर सीडीएस करूँ या आईएएस करूँ, विच इज बेटर सर? सर आईएएस ऑफिसर की लाइफ बेटर है या सीडीएस आर्मी ऑफिसर की लाइफ बेटर है? मैं यार क्या सवाल पूछते हो तुम मेरे से? हाउ कैन यू कंपेयर द टू कार्डर्स? दे आर टोटली डिफरेंट, टोटली डिफरेंट। ठीक है। चलो चलो, या रोस्टिंग तो हमारी स्पेशल क्लास में होती थी। चलो बच्चा पार्टी, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू वेरी मच। अब मिलेंगे 4 दिन के बाद, बट आई विल कंटिन्यू टू वर्क फॉर यू। एंड ये जिसको इंग्लिश में दिक्कत है, पर्सनैलिटी में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है, ज्वाइन कर लो BOCC, यू विल नॉट रिग्रेट इट, ये मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको। ठीक है, चलो, तो माई फर्स्ट सेकेंड इनिंग्स इज फॉर योर फर्स्ट इनिंग्स, याद रखना। चलो, ऑल द बेस्ट, बाय बाय, जय हिंद, टेक केयर।